Aloha and welcome to ThinkTech Hawaii's Reaching Out. My name is Neenz Feleafine and I'm very excited about this show. It's very personal to me because it's part of my culture, part of my roots and my history, and I'm so honored to have our guest. She has worked various communications jobs across all of the Pacific, and we'll hear about some of the projects she's worked on there. She ran the successful Start Living Healthy for the State Department of Health. And everyone should be familiar with that, Start Living Healthy, and you'll start to see the branding in your mind. And she is currently the Public Relations and Media Specialist for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Digital Media Program. Please welcome Alice Silbanuz. Talofa.
Talofa. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be here. I did let you know like how I got you here, right? In order to get Alice here, I knew that if I asked her directly, she would decline because a lot of her job is to support others.
That's right.
It's
Absolutely.
behind the camera, supporting others, somebody else is in the center. And so I enlisted one of your associates, right? And to me, probably like as you shared, like one of the driving forces, Ryan Gonzalez. A lot of you in the tech industry knows who he is. And he went and had a baby, so congratulations. He's on maternity leave.
Right, paternity.
Yes, paternity leave. And so thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it. I know it took a lot for you to be here. And so we're just gonna talk story.
Sounds good.
And what I wanted to know was, so I know that you've done a lot of work in the Pacific, and it's part of my kuleana too as well, or my heart is how might we, right? How might we continue to engage and improve their communications there? So I just wanted you to tell me about like which islands you worked on and some of the projects that you worked on.
Okay, originally I'm from American Samoa,
yes.
Born and raised, and so one of my very first jobs in the Pacific was working for the American Samoa National Park. Okay. And I was an interpretive specialist, worked on their communications programs and education programs. That was something that I did as an intern in college. But that internship really opened the doors to other internships and opportunities in the Pacific. One of the projects that I worked on in Pohnpei in Micronesia was for the Nature Conservancy. And that was after graduating from UH Hilo with a communications degree. I worked on a video project for them, which was an educational project, getting people to grow kava in the lowlands instead of growing kava in the highlands where they would clear the forests. And so we kind of did a little tutorial on how to grow low, and actually shared some of the impacts of growing low, which is good for the environment, but also you get a stronger product as far as kava.
That is important.
And that is, kava is something that's really popular in Pohnpei. And so that was a great project to work on. I really enjoyed it. I got to go out into the villages and interview farmers that have used this technique. And we were able to share their stories and help to change the state of the environment and kind of help reduce some of the clearing of the highland forest, which in turn then affects the entire Ahupua'a.
Right. Is it an industry now, or were farmers growing the kava just for personal and then local?
It's mostly for personal use, and then they've also started a lot of markets. Okay. So kind of recreation, kind of like a kava bar. Okay. So in the villages, pretty much every village has a kava bar, and people gather, they socialize, and they drink kava, and a lot of business deals are made over kava. A lot of relationship building is done over kava. My in-laws are from Pohnpei, and that's part of the reason why I was able to live there and work there. I'm very grateful to them. But we would go out all together, my husband and I and his parents, and we'd go to the kava bars, and it's very much a part of the culture in Pohnpei.
Yeah. That sounds exciting to me. Like if you're an entrepreneur out there thinking of a business, kava bar might be something that takes off. I was just in Hilo at their farmers market, the famous farmers market.
Oh, I love that.
And there was a gentleman who was selling different kava, at least that's what the label said, from different regions. So Fiji, there was Tahiti, and there was Tonga. Nothing, I didn't see anywhere else, just those three, and of course I bought all three. And
Got a taste test.
and yeah, it's like, you know, coffee tasting or wine tasting, right? And we haven't tasted it yet. We haven't made it yet. However, we're excited to try that out. And what a great idea, kava bars.
And they've started to gain some popularity here as
Sure.
well.
Yep.
The preparation is a little bit different. In Ponape, they pound the kava roots on a large stone, and it's kind of musical, and they pound the rocks, and then they also add hibiscus bark, kind of like the sap from the hibiscus bark, which makes it kind of thick, but very potent.
Yeah, I'm salivating. So needless to say, that was probably your favorite, one of your favorites projects to work on.
Absolutely. I also had the opportunity to work after college for the American Samoa Coastal Management Program, and I was an education specialist for them, public awareness coordinator. And we did projects with the villages where we did education. We kind of did plays where we took out plays to the villages, and it was very much a different form of communication. So we did video in Pohnpei, and I did some local storytelling in American Samoa. We also had large public awareness events called Coast Weeks.
Okay.
And we had encouraged people to come out and create banners, and they would put their banners up in the different villages and encourage environmental stewardship, responsible environmental stewardship from the mountains to the sea. And that was definitely one of my favorites as well. Really enjoyed working for them.
For our viewers that are thinking about like how, if they want to move to one of the islands or provide some kind of support for communications, what are some of the benefits of working? Because when I think about communication, I mean, I'm stereotypical, right? Like, do they have, there's video in Pohnpei, right?
Oh, yes.
Right.
And it's very popular. It's a very popular communication outlet. TV, I would say it's one of the most popular. They have a cable network, and they share local stories on a kind of like an Olelo type of radio, TV station. And then radio, I would say, is a second as far as communication. In American Samoa, they're starting to do a lot more website development. I've noticed that. And a lot of people are doing more in social media, which for me is really exciting because that's, a passion and love of mine. To be able to see them, people from American Samoa and from other islands starting to use social media as a way to get information out to the public.
What I saw when there's ever a natural disaster, my grandmother lives in American Samoa, my aunties, my cousins.
Yes.
When the natural disasters happen, I jump on Twitter, I'm looking on Facebook, and there's a lot of information, and it's much faster than if we were watching CNN or MSNBC or any of the other news outlets.
Absolutely. I know some people might have remembered the 2009 tsunami that happened in American Samoa. That was definitely a great example of social media coming in and really assisting people with locating their families, getting good information as far as what kind of impacts we're seeing in the different villages. Because in my village of Whangaitua, the damage was kind of isolated to the coastline. So fortunately for my family and I, and our families that live more on the hillside, we were not impacted. But I was seeing photos instantly on the same day, and I was able to see the destruction that occurred and impacted so many people in American Samoa.
Yeah, I had tweeted out that getting a hold of my grandma.
Exactly.
I'm going to call. I tweeted it out, and one of the national news outlets had actually asked me if they could interview me. I said, no, I don't know what's happening. I'm in Hawaii. What I'm saying is I'm going to find out information and hopefully find out, because once you called, all circuits are busy now, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so, it took a while for us to actually get in touch with our family. And it was kind of like nerve-wracking, except everyone was found safe. And then you just saw the pictures of devastation on Facebook, even videos now that they're using. And I've even seen like some Instagrams coming out. So I think that as far as American Samoa is concerned, they're very much plugging into the current technology.
Absolutely, and it's a way that everyone keeps connected. I'm connected with hundreds of people from my high school and pretty much everyone in my village, in my section of the village, I have on my Facebook, so I know what's happening in
Yeah.
the village.
Right.
That's
You know the
pretty
local
funny.
politics
Yes.
and the local, keeping up with the local stories. I wanted you to share about the project that you ran for Department of Health, Start Living Healthy.
Okay, Start Living Healthy. That was an awesome project. I worked for the Department of Health for 5 years under the Healthy Hawaii initiative, and I managed the mass media public education program. And we utilized TV, radio, mall ads. We
Yes.
had special events that happened. For our section, there's been different phases over the years, and so for the very first phase, it was, which I was not involved in, it was just getting people to become aware of the fact that, hey, you know, maybe I need to make a change in my life. And what we did, what we focused on as far as the change campaign and starting with a small step was to take to get at least 30 minutes of physical activity every day worked into your schedule. And you didn't have to do it by doing the whole stretch of 30 minutes. You can just, if you can take 3 10-minute breaks during the day.
I remember that campaign.
To take a walk around the block. You know, we promoted walk and talks.
Yeah.
So you have a walking meeting around the block. You take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. You go for a pauhana walk, which is one of the commercials that I got pulled into to be the friend in the pauhana walk commercial. And it was incredibly just fun, wonderful people to work with, and we worked with really creative people, and it was using mass media, and we actually saw change happen. We saw an increase. The other half of that Start Living Healthy campaign was the fruits and vegetables campaign, where we encouraged people to eat at least one more fruit and one more vegetable every day.
I remember that too. You made it very simple, because somebody like me, it's like, what do I have to do? It looks like this big of a problem.
Exactly.
Right, and then when you said like 10 minutes 3 times, I think,
3 times a day.
What? Just walk around? Oh, I can do that.
And
get
you
up
can
from
get
your
the
desk,
health benefits.
Right, get up from your desk. Have your meetings by walking around, and so we'd start to do that. You know, I even started doing meetings at the beach.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear you say that. That is fantastic.
Get in the water, like
yes.
to have the meeting, you have to get in the water and we'd actually do something. You know,
excellent.
There. And so I remember, like, I call it declining it down, declining it down for people, right? Or just making it simple. It's not that big of a task, you know. However, if you take these little steps.
And this is all based on research. So we worked very closely with Dr. Jay Maddock at the University of Hawaii School of Public Health. And he and our team worked together to kind of analyze the data, so people analyze where they are in the stages of change as far as their willingness to go to the next step. Okay, I'm ready to start integrating more physical activity into my life. For many people, they saw eating 5 fruits and vegetables every day as an unattainable task. And so therefore we said, and we saw that many people were eating between 2 and 3 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So if you added just 1 more fruit and 1 more vegetable to your diet, then you would hit the 5.
Right.
So this was great, like using data in order to inform your messaging and tailoring the messages that we put forth, and that were effective. We did see an increase in fruit and vegetable consumption when we came around the second year to do our surveys.
So it worked, and I remember the campaigns, and it helped me mentally and emotionally to tackle. We're going to go to commercial right now. When we return with Alice, we're going to talk about the Le Fetu'au Samoan Language Center and then dive into OHA. We'll be right back. Mahalo. Okay.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on the ThinkTech Digital Series. The show is every Wednesday from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and I want you to watch this show because I think that when we talk with artists on the show about what they do, how they do it, and most importantly, why they do it, I believe that it resonates within each of us, and we find something inside of ourselves that brings us closer to all of humanity. That's what arts are there to do, and that's what I'm here to do on this show. That's Center Stage. It's on every Wednesday from 2 to 3 o'clock. I hope to see you there.
Aloha, you're watching Reaching Out on ThinkTech Hawaii, and I'm Neenz Feleafine, and we're talking with Alice Silbanuz of OHA. And before we get into the great things that OHA is doing and why all of the viewers should be aware of it, I wanted to talk about the Lefetu'au Samoan Language Center. And once again, it's something very personal to me. I knew I was aware of it. However, I thought when it first launched, I got excited. I went to look, and it was just for the kids. And I thought, well, it's been a while since by age I've been a kid, you know. And then I just found out from you now.
Right, Lefetu'au Samoan Language Center. We're based in Salt Lake City, and we are a school that's open to everyone and anyone who wants to learn Samoan language and Samoan culture. It was established about 10 years ago by our founder, Elisabetta Tupo Alaimaleata. And it was just started out of love, really. She opened up
that's what I read.
Yeah, she opened up her garage, and on the very first day of class, you know, basically put the word out, we're going to have Samoan language classes, or A'onga Samoa, and put the word out. 50 kids showed up on the very first day. So we could see that there's a real thirst and hunger for learning Samoan language out in the community. So it started with that, and then slowly she's pulled more people in to volunteer. I brought my daughter Trinity to class when she was about 5 years old, and now she's 9. So we've been with the school for quite a while. And it's this collaboration and bringing together all of these different skills and things together that has really been a strength of the school. And Elisabetta does a really great job of bringing people together. We're excited because after just working out of love for so many years, we finally were able to get an A&A grant. That's a federal grant that that funds language preservation projects, and we were one of the first in the nation to be funded for Samoan language. So there are a lot of Hawaiian language projects that get funded, and then Native American tribes also have their language programs that are funded, and this was one of the first for American Samoa, or for Samoa. So it's definitely a point of pride, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. And now, because of the grant, we've been able to expand our services. We actually opened up a new school in Waianae, Fesilafa'i, which is run by the Reverend and the Faletua at the Methodist Church in Waianae. And we have been able to bring more teachers on board to teach Samoan language, Samoan culture. We have a Siva class, or a dance class. And the kids love that, the parents love that. Classes are open for everyone from level K all the way up to adults. So the model is basically we have classes for the children, we have classes available for parents and adults. That way, for that parent support is available to the children. So when the learning of Samoan doesn't just happen on Saturdays between 10 and 12. They're taking those lessons and they're taking them back home, and they're able to implement the Samoan language lessons that are learned in the classroom. Something that's very exciting about Lefetu'au is that we just recently purchased a computer pod. So we're going digital, and we're exploring
Way to tie that right into.
We're exploring app development, and so we're looking for help for people to help us to create apps that help with reinforcing language lessons that are learned in the classroom. So it's incredibly exciting to be a part of this and to have these types of resources available to our students. I'm just so excited for our students and the families that are a part of Lefetu'au. We have about, say about 30 families that are involved in the program over the years, and some have been long time attendees of the program. It's just really nice to be able to see them grow and become more comfortable in the language, and then also just become more comfortable in their identity as a Samoan living abroad. And it's something that I want for my daughter. So now when we go on our summer trips back home, or when we go home for Christmas, she's able to, talk a little bit with her cousins in the village. And
aware of what's happening.
And just be more secure in her identity as a Samoan. So this is something that is very near and dear to my heart, and I just love working for Lefetu'au.
Well, it's definitely a program I'm going to take advantage of. I have cousins, right? There's like 70 of us or something. And those that grew up in American Samoa speak the language till this day. And then there's the rest of us, every single family gathering, we're like, can you interpret, you know, for me. And as I got older, I thought, like, I want to know that culture. You know, I want to learn it. Like, are there opportunities? And, you know, when I first looked into it, there wasn't any. And in the last couple of years, 4 or 5 years, there's been this program. And now that I know that it's available to myself, I know that I can let my cousins here, born and raised here, know that there's something for us now.
Right, and if people want to learn more, they can go to our website, which is lefetuau.com. We're also on Facebook. We're sharing every Saturday that we're in the classroom, we're sharing what the lesson is, or we're sharing how to sing a song that might be popular, you know, like Savali Vali means go for a walk.
I learned that song during Hurricane Eva.
Really?
Yeah, because there was no electricity. All we had was the ukulele, and it was my mom, who's Hawaiian, that actually taught us that song, Tele Tau Tala. Right? That actually taught us that song. It's and then I taught my kids that same song too, because you know, we had no electricity one day. You know, like it's what we passed down, and so that's great that it's still tied into something that's familiar, and something that's based on culture, right? Which is important. And you folks are going digital, which then helps everyone else. And
we have people that tune into our Facebook account and our outlet, and they say, oh, I wish I had this program here in California, or, you know, somewhere in Washington. Will you be able to bring it on over to us? So one of the things that we're doing with the ANA grant is to be able to develop a curriculum that is meant for community-based programs. So not necessarily like a school, a 9-to-5 type school or whatever it might be, but something that you can take lessons from the workbook and take it and use it with your child at home, or be able to use it in a classroom setting at other Aonga Samoas. And that's something that we want to inspire. We want to inspire other folks across the nation, you know, people that are outside of Samoa to take advantage of the resources that are available that will help to create. And if you want something, go after it. Do it. You know, make that service available. That's exactly what happened here. And through the help and collaboration of so many others working together, we've been able to create a program that is a lot of fun. You know, we just finished our pre-Thanksgiving umu, which is the earth oven.
Yes, and, or imu in Hawaiian.
Yes, and everyone had the opportunity to come together and watch how the umu is put together. You had to weave your own ma'ilo, which is the coconut frond woven plate.
Yes.
And if you don't weave a ma'ilo, then you don't eat because you don't have a plate. So there's high incentive to learn how to make that ma'ilo. But it's a combination, not just classroom lessons, but a combination of real life, like excursions, field trips to the Samoan village at PCC, the IMU or UMU annual event, my favorite event of the year.
Because they're on food, mine's too. So let's talk about what's happening with Office of Hawaiian Affairs. I have been, like the work that you're producing has gotten my attention. There's so much quality content that's being published. And I mean, we were just outside talking about it, and I feel like there's not enough people that know. You know, there's not enough people that are aware of the work that you folks are doing to just give information. Hey, this is what is happening, you know, within our community. This is what we're working towards. And yet, you know, I was telling you, like, yet we're more concerned about what's happening in pop culture than we are what's happening, you know, right here at home.
Well, first of all, thank you for those kind words. We really appreciate it. You know, I'm here, but with me is my digital media team, which we wouldn't be able to, you know, we've worked together and collaborated on a number of really high quality, in my opinion, very high quality products. And
in my YouTube opinion, very high quality. And Instagram, right?
And what we have is a very, I think we're able to do that because we have a talented crew. You know, we have our manager, you mentioned earlier, Ryan Gonzo Gonzalez. He's an awesome techie guy, but he's also a musician, and he's very multifaceted. We have James Hall, who is our animator, and he's also an editor. And we have our graphics person, John Matsuzaki, who's just a fabulous designer. And then we have the assistance of a student helper, Alexis Panancilo, who has been just developing all these wonderful skills because of the contributions. You know, everyone's doing a little bit of mentoring with her, and it's really exciting to see her develop and watch her develop her skills. But because of this group of multi-talented crew, and also we have a very supportive administration. You know, our community engagement director, Kehau Nani Abad, as well as our kapohana, Kamana'apono Crab, as well as our trustees, they're all very supportive of innovation and collaboration, pushing the envelope, trying to get the best information, the best products out to our beneficiaries because they deserve it. So one of the things that we do is for communication, daily, every day, we are sharing information via our social media pages. And via social media, we're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're on Vimeo, we're on YouTube, we're on Tumblr. And via those channels, we are sharing stories of inspiration. We're sharing the programs that are available, services that are available to make life better for Hawaiians. We're sharing culture perpetuation, which is definitely one of the things that again, people are very thirsty for. They're hungry for that type of content. And sometimes it's hard to keep up because it's a, you know, with social media, it's a hungry beast, and you have to continuously feed it with quality content, you know?
That is correct, quality content, not just content.
Exactly.
However, it's purposeful, right? It's part of a vision, you know, and that information hopefully will inspire, motivate, get people to move. We're going to go to commercial break right now. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the programs that OHA is creating and leveraging social media, especially with the Kamaka Ko'i and their election game that just happened this last season. Okay. Mahalo.
Hi, my name is Sachiko Slomov. I'm the floor manager of ThinkTech Hawaii here. You can join us on the air every weekday from 1 to 5 or off the air at thinktechhawaii.com. We stream all of our videos and all of our amazing shows at thinktechhawaii.com or on our Ustream channel. You can also check us out on Twitter at ThinkTechHI or Instagram at ThinkTechHI also. I'll be listening and I hope to see you there. Thanks.
Aloha and welcome back to Reaching Out. I am Neenz Feleafine. We're here with Alice Silbanuz. And right now she's going to share about OHA's project, Kamaka Ko'i.
That's right. Yeah. Kamakakoi.com. It's a web-based educational website where we feature different issues that affect the Hawaiian community and the larger community. Right now we have issues, we have videos and films as well as articles on issues such as Vai, or the fight or struggle for water.
Yes.
We also have a short film on iwi kupuna and the importance of iwi kupuna to Hawaiians. And the purpose of the website, you know, we have this 3-part mantra. We get informed, take action, and spread the word. That is how we envision Kamaka Ko'i being used. So you can get educated by watching a short film or reading an article, reading up on legislative updates, and then you can spread the word. You can take action.
Take action, right?
By signing a petition, an online petition. You can submit legislative testimony, and then you can also take action or spread the word by then using the social sharing features that we have on the website. So you can share the Olai Kawai video on water rights, on the water fight in Maui. You can share the article on iwi kupuna that is on our website. You can share that you signed the petition to get water, to have all people have equal rights to water and not have it hoarded by these large water companies. And so that is the whole basis of the website. And it's something that's been very exciting to be a part of. For the most part, the kind of creation of the videos and the brains and the vision behind Kamaka Ko'i The people behind that are my manager, Ryan Gonzalez, and our community engagement director, and then also our administration. And then I help with the social media promotion. So one of the most recent events that happened was after a 10-year struggle, a legal battle for water in Maui. After 10 years.
I just want to emphasize that, like a legal battle for water.
Yeah, and this is
in Hawaii.
Water is a public trust.
Yes.
That means that everyone is supposed to have access to water. And what happened in Maui is that there are dry stream beds. There is no water being released into the stream beds. That means that everyone downstream is out of luck. You have no water for recreational purposes, no water for farming. Not to mention the ecological effects. You know, basically there's no stream life.
Right, it just dies.
And so after 10 years of battling with the large profit-driven companies on Maui, the community, particularly Hui o Nawai'eha, were able, with assistance from OHA and Earth Justice, to finally come to an agreement where they were going to release water that would then, bring these streams back to life. And so we were on the ground on the day of the water release. And it was incredibly powerful. You could feel the excitement in the air at Iao Valley, Iao Stream. When the water was released, Auntie Hokulani Holt did a beautiful oli, and her halau did some hula as well. And it was a joyous event. It was just fantastic. And then as we proceeded throughout the day, the tone actually changed. And it wasn't for the better. Because what we discovered was that certain portions of the agreement weren't being fulfilled, and water wasn't being released where it needed to be. In certain areas where a gate was put into place to allow water flow down into the stream, that gate was being held up by a stick and a stone. Yeah, and so I was really thankful that we were able to be there so we could document that and share that struggle, share what was happening and kind of the frustration that the people in Maui were going through. And over 3 days of posting on the water release, we were able to get over 100,000 organic impressions, totally organic, nothing paid. It was about 133 impressions altogether. We also encouraged people to like the Hui o Nawai'eha Facebook page, and that helped them to grow their following. So for people that want to stay informed of the things that are happening with the water struggle in Maui, they're able to get on the ground updates from this Hui o Nawai'eha Facebook page. And that's something that we like to do with our social media. We don't like to just hoard the spotlight for ourselves. It's very important for us to act as a community resource. So we encourage people, we share what others in the community are doing to increase or better the lifestyle and way of life for Hawaiians, whether it be something connected with health, a health program that might be available to Hawaiians, or if it's education. Right now we have scholarship AHAs that are happening statewide, and these are basically like a scholarship fair where students, teachers, parents, coaches, anyone is invited to come to the AHA and learn about the millions of dollars that are available for free to Native Hawaiian students, college students.
Say it again too, right? Millions of dollars that are available to Native Hawaiian students, and yet I know there's so many that just don't show up, right? It's a simple thing of just showing up and learning about it, and then you realize, oh wait, I actually qualify for that, or I'm interested in that.
And that college money can totally change a person's life, We do our very best to highlight those events, but also have the information available on our website, oha.org. So for the scholarship information, we put together a booklet, which is a resource guide of all of the scholarships that we know about that are available to Native Hawaiians, and that's available at oha.org/scholarships. And so people can tune in, they can get the information online if they miss the events that are happening out in the community.
You know, one thing I wanted to backtrack about is when you talked about how the OHA social channels will actually share information or become the hub of resource and share information from other groups, other synergistic groups. And when you think about it, right, so I look at social media as an actual community, right? We live in a physical community,
Yes.
right? So it's an actual community, and in this day and age of the selfie, right, and the I, you know, for me, my strategy for my clients is always, it's like take the spotlight off of you and talk about the good things everyone else is doing, and you will reach the people that are already supporting them, and thereby grow your own, you know, community. And so that's great. That's what you're doing with the groups that you're working with, and hopefully the people that are watching will also jump on OHA and then even reach out, like, hey, share our stuff. This is what we're doing, or can we collaborate? We'll share yours, and if you could share ours, and that really is what community is. You know, that whole collaboration. And when we talk about social media, it's communication, collaboration.
Absolutely.
You know, for me.
I totally agree.
I wanted to go into this new project that you folks are working on called hashtag Hawaiian Patriots.
Yes, Hawaiian Patriots. So the Hawaiian Patriots project is also a Kamakakoi project, and it is a web-based educational tool that is available to everyone. It basically highlights the words and lives of Hawaiian Patriots George Helm, Pi'ilani of Kauai, former Maui Senator Alice Kamokila Campbell, and James Kaulia of Oahu. And these folks, this was done in collaboration with Dr. Noelani Goodyear Ka'opua at the UH Manoa, at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, and with her students. And so the task, every year she has her students research a Hawaiian patriot or someone, a Hawaiian leader that has been a powerful Hawaiian leader who has inspired aloha aina and who has impacted, created change for their community. And so we featured 4 students, UH Manoa students, that did their projects on the Patriots, the Hawaiian Patriots that I mentioned, and they recited the speeches of these Hawaiian Patriots. So we did basically all the camera work. The students did the reciting of speeches. They also did some of the background research on each of the speeches. This was a great collaboration between the two parts, you know, between UH Manoa and OHA. But it was also a great opportunity for our digital media team to work together. Everyone pitched in. And then we also got some help from our communications program staff to assist. So we were out at the Hawaiian Studies program shooting the videos. And I really encourage people to check it out at kamakakoi.com/Hawaiian Patriots, because what you'll see is just like Hollywood style production of these Hawaiian speeches.
So they're in
everyday clothing.
They're
in everyday clothing, but the production quality is so awesome, and you have this dramatic music in the background, and you have the slow motion of the grass waving in the wind. It's just incredible.
So this wasn't shot with the iPhone then, right?
No.
Right. Professor Goodyear Kaupua is very involved, you know, not just in Native Hawaiian issues. I've known her since she was, I don't know, maybe middle school.
Wow.
And then to reconnect with her because she welcomes, you know, candidates, political candidates during the seasons, election seasons, into her classroom. And it was great to see her again, and then just to see how she's making all of these leaders or potential leaders available to her students and for them to ask questions. And it's really some deep questions about Native issues that you know she's doing on her own. You know, we're not going to see that forum on, you know, mainstream media where she's allowing her students, except she's making a difference that way too.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we do with kamakakoi.com. Is to give the community a voice. You know, this is the outlet for community members to speak, to get awareness on the issues that affect them, that impact their lives, the struggles that they deal with, or the inspirational stories that they have. That's something that we feature and highlight on Kamakakoi, and actually on all of our digital media products. We try to share these stories, the inspirational stories, and see how these stories might help to change other lives. So just recently I did a short video news story on a woman who runs her own business called Field Trip Friends. And she did this with the help of a Malama loan from OHA. And she shares about how, you know, how awesome it is to be a business owner, to be her own boss, but to also take these kids out on field trips, inspire Malama Aina, get them to care for the land and just be more connected with the land. And that's how we grow good stewards of the land.
So you folks are, like I said, creating this amazing content. It is so important, you know, not just for us, the Native Hawaiian community, except the community at large. And yet, you know, it hasn't hit that, I don't want to say viral, because that's not what it is. It hasn't gone mainstream, where you hear about it in the coffee house, you know, in Manoa, and you hear about it with the kupuna here, like where it's so widespread. And yet this new upcoming project, I think, will be the one that'll actually pull in, you know, the others. And you shared about it. It's the animated history of Hawaiian sovereignty.
That's correct. We're working on an animated project where we talk about the history of Hawaii and how it was an independent nation that was acknowledged and recognized by other nations in the world. And it is a very different way to present this information. It'll be packaged as a 1-hour show, and it utilizes the skills of our animator as well as the awesome history knowledge of our director, Kehawa Abad, who's previously a history teacher and who was a history major. And we hope to, you know, it's an education project that's been it's been in the wings for quite a while, and it's finally getting the attention that it needs to be brought forth, and to actually tell this story and be able to share the story with everyone here in Hawaii, and to help educate people about the sovereignty of Hawaii, what happened as far as the overthrow and kind of and where do we go from here? It basically inspires that question. Where do we go from here? Right. So we're really excited to be we're working really hard on it. It's kind of a labor of love at this point. We just wrapped the VOs today, voiceovers, pickups, and so within the spring of 2015, we hope to release that, and we will do showings throughout the Pai'aina, where we will invite, you know, students, teachers, families to come and watch this video and become educated, instill that sense of pride, and also try and figure out, you know, okay, knowing this, how do we move forward?
Together, right, as long as you know the history. So I just want to thank you so much for being on the show and sharing, you know, your life just for a little bit, and your mana'o with all of us. I appreciate you. Thank you all for tuning in to reaching out. And if you do anything else after the show, go to kamakakoi.com. Aloha. Thank you.